All right, guys. Fuller coming to you with another video. It looks like the tone of my channel is going to change due to just all the geopolitical things going on. Maybe, perhaps, yes, I will occasionally, once in a while, cover uh, the gender issues or the gender imbalances that we have right now that are currently going on in the world, but mostly in the West. But I wanted to speak about I wanted to speak about, you know, these people just really get on my nerves. And when I say they really get on my nerves, they really get on my nerves times 100. They, for example, point the finger, right? They point the finger at you when in fact they're the whole reason why the finger is being pointed at you. And what I mean by that is this one guy named Alex Barnicoat. He had the audacity, this one white British guy, he had the audacity to say that Nigeria was a failed state because of, unfortunately, the insurgency, the banditry, and the like thereof, which is indeed we have to take accountability for. Um, Part of in my personal opinion, I think it's a nexus of different parties in between. I think you have people within Nigeria who are letting it happen and allowing it to happen and actually assisting in it to happen. You have people outside of Nigeria assisting it to happen. And then you have it through neighboring countries, basically being Benin, Ivory Coast, and what have you. And then you have the Western element, the United States, France, and Britain, who are playing a part as well. So this Alex Barnicoat, he tried to explain like how Nigeria is a failed state and all of these things like that. And it's like, bro, like you're talking about Nigeria being a failed state, but is what is Britain right now? Okay, what is Britain right now? Ever since you guys did your Brexit or whatever or what have you, it hasn't benefited you whatsoever. Okay, um, you guys, you're in no place to talk about no failed state at all. Okay, you're in no business to talk about someone having a failed state. Okay, last time I checked, immigrants weren't the reason why you have a failed state. Okay, it was your own people's doing, and the reason why you have a failed state. There's no outside factors that keep Britain from doing what it's doing right now. You guys are single-handedly doing it to your own selves. Okay, whereas in Nigeria, like, bro, like, I hate to say this, but what the thing is, and I don't agree with how they were going to go about it. I definitely don't agree with that. That's going a little too far, a little bit too overboard for me. But the fact that there was a military junta in the works in Nigeria, right? There was a military junta in the works in Nigeria. Okay, but unfortunately, with that military junta, they were talking about like eliminating people, um, and that's something that I don't agree with, bro. Just if anything, just take out. How do I want to say it? Just just remove the leadership, right? And then have military government. That's it. Okay. The thing is that um, the thing is that something has to give when it comes to Nigeria, because he's talking about it being a failed state, and then you have, unfortunately, the Nigerians who agree with him, and of course, the haters of Nigeria want to agree with him too. Ghanaians, mostly South Africans. I'm sorry to say it, but Ghanaians and South Africans just have a deep-seated hatred for Nigerians. Okay, that's just the bottom line. Now, when it comes to me, I'm my vested interest in it is because due to the large fact that I have family in Nigeria, and also just the whole um, the Sahelian nexus. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, the reason why I am going to Nigeria is number one to renew my passport there. Number two, I want to spend Ramadan there, and number three, is to establish even more of a contribution to the AES since I have family in Mali as well. And I think one of our guys, he's working in Burkina Faso. So it's to, how should I say it? It's to basically contribute to the project that they have going on. Okay. The thing is with the banditry, with the insurgencies and things like that, ever since it was announced that America would be boots on ground in Nigeria, there's been an uptick in insurgencies. So, like, he's talking about it being a failed state, but he's not talking about the reasons for it going through the problems it's going through right now. He's not talking about the reason why it's going through the problems it's going through. And I hate to say it, it's largely due to his people, okay? It's largely due to his people. All right. Because if we look at the paper trail, if we look at everything, it's going to trace back to what? American made weapons, British made drones, British American made drones. Okay. How the hell are they getting into the country? Okay. How are these weapons getting into the country? How are they getting into the hands of the bandits if there isn't a foreign entity involved with this? Okay, so I think his name is Alex Barnicoat or something. He needs to just shut the hell up, okay, and worry about Britain and worry about all the people who were on Mr. Epstein's list that came from his country, including the royal family as well. Okay, that's another thing that we need to talk about. This guy is so busy talking about Nigeria being in a failed state, but he's not talking about all the people from his country that were on that Epstein list, including now it's getting out that including footballers that were on the Epstein list in that I won't even call it a manifesto. I'll just call it in these emails. So this guy needs to shut the hell up when it comes to him talking about, oh, Nigeria is a failed state. Okay? He really needs to just shut that crap up. Okay? So now you have a situation where, um, unfortunately, and this is the unfortunate thing, you have a situation now that, and I wish it was false, but it's not, and it just boils my blood because I know what's to come. The thing is Nigeria is indeed a amalgamation of different territories into one thing. Okay, for better or for worse, it is a country. However, what needs to be said is that what needs to be said now is that the country needs to be, how should I say it? It needs to be rectified for better or for worse, okay? Breaking it apart is not going to be the answer. We see what happened when it happened in South Sudan, okay? When South Sudan broke off from North Sudan, they had a civil war with each other. And I still think South Sudan is fighting with one another as we speak. So that's not the solution, but that's the solution that America wants to present, that Britain wants to present, and also that, unfortunately, Israel wants to present. So now you're in a situation where and this is why this president is a waste man. This is why he's the worst president I can say. This guy can barely even put a sentence together. I swear to Allah, he's one of the worst presidents. But now you're in a situation where now you're in a situation where um, um, U.S. is talking about building a drone fueling station in Nigeria. This is not good because, again, you're trampling on sovereignty. And then on top of that, we know damn well you do not care about black skinned people. You care about what's under those black skinned people's feet, okay? That's what you care about. So, what needs to be said is that I would hope that this does not happen, okay? But I also blame the fact that Tinubu and other parties involved give these people amnesty. Like for some, like I guess this is part of Islam to be forgiving, but there's such thing as being too forgiving at times because you have people who want to rehabilitate, for example, rehabilitate uh, Boko Haram, rehabilitate bandits. There's no rehabilitating these people, okay? You have to just get rid of them. That's just the bottom line. And I'm saying this as a Muslim myself, okay? We have rules of engagement when it comes to these people. They fall under the category of muharibun. Muharibun means brigands, okay? Muharibun are those who kill, steal, destroy, and violate the trust of Muslim and just trust of anybody in general. Meaning they violate their livelihood, they violate their life, they violate their possessions, they violate everything. Okay, they violate their lineage. There's no rehabilitating these people. You have to just get rid of them. Okay? But with this being said, it's just unfortunately that America is now trying to make more inroads into Africa. It calls Africa shithole this, shithole that, but it sure as hell does not want to leave us the hell alone. Okay? So now you have a situation where they're building I hope it's not true, but I'm pretty sure it is. They're building a base, and guess what they're going to use the drones for? Guess what they're going to use the drones for? They're going to use it for surveillance of the Sahelian states. So I'm going to just end this video with this note, okay? Because I don't want to be long-winded. Because Russia is one of the alliances of Sahel's partners, and we know how America feels about Russia. We know how they feel. Because Russia is one of the alliance of Sahel's partners, uh, it wants to have a proxy war in the Sahel. Okay? That's what it wants to do. It wants to have a proxy war in the Sahel, and what it will do is it will use the guise of um, defending people against terrorists, only to finance and help these terrorists in order to fight. In order for these terrorists to go to Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger to start trouble. So that's what it wants to do. It wants to have a proxy war, and I really hate to say this, bro, but I'm gonna say this, and I'm not by any means. I'm the farthest thing from the Nation of Islam. I'm the farthest thing from that group of people. But when you look at the collective actions of the Anglos, it makes you question if these people aren't devils. It really makes you question it. But with that being said, Fuller signing out. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. And John Rama.